Hi everyone and welcome to Deakin College. Today we will be having a presentation regarding our Diploma of Engineering, which we led by Liam Lyons, the academic coordinator. Before I do hand over to him though, just a little bit of housekeeping before we do get started. If you do have any questions throughout the presentation, you can either put these in the Q&A section at the very bottom, or you can also put them in the chat function. We have got panelists joining us today that will be able to answer your questions throughout the presentation. And we also do have an open session at the end where you'll be able to ask questions. So just once again, the Q&A section or the chat throughout the presentation, and then we will have some open time at the end for Q&A. So I'll pass over now to Liam.
Hi everyone, my name is Liam Lyons. So I'm the academic coordinator for the Diploma of Engineering. Just a bit of information about what we're going to talk about today. So for today's topics, we're going to start with an in-depth look at your diploma, the Diploma of Engineering. We're going to look at what it looks like studying online at Deakin College, as well as the units in the diploma. We're going to have a look at the recommended units that you study in your first trimester at Deakin College, then go over a review of the frequently asked questions we get. And at the end, we're going to have a bit of time for just an open discussion or for some question and answer. So the Diploma of Engineering at Deakin College. The Diploma of Engineering provides a high-quality pathway course in a supportive, student-centered learning environment. It's designed to give you the skills and knowledge required for a full spectrum of opportunities in the field of engineering. At Deakin College, we offer a supportive learning environment and providing the best possible preparation for your study at Deakin University. You can choose subjects that suit your specific interests and professional ambitions in the areas of civil engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, mechanical engineering, and mechatronics engineering. So in terms of where does the, so where does the diploma take you? The Diploma of Engineering offers a pathway into second year at Deakin University in the following bachelors. So we have the Bachelor of Civil Engineering with honours, the Bachelor of Electrical and Electronics Engineering with honours, the Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering with honours, and the Bachelor of Mechatronics Engineering with honours. In terms of the course duration, there's actually two study paths you can offer. The normal course duration is 12 months or 3 trimesters. However, you do have the option to fast track the course and complete it in 2 trimesters, which will take you 8 months. To complete the course in 8 months, students will have to study 4 credit points per trimester. So you'll have to successfully complete those 4 credit points. Students can take a maximum of 4 credit points per trimester. For international students in Australia, you must enroll in a minimum of 3 credit points each trimester. And for local students, you must enroll in 3 credit points to be considered a full-time student. So in terms of transferring to Deakin University, to transfer to Deakin University, you must complete and pass 8 credit points. For Australian and permanent residents, a weighted average mark, or a WAM, of at least 50% for all units. You must achieve a weighted average mark of at least 50% for all units attempted. For international students, your weighted average mark must also be 50% for all units attempted. You cannot transfer to Deakin University unless the above conditions, you cannot transfer to Deakin University if the above conditions have not been met. And transferring to Deakin University information sessions are held each trimester. So in terms of graduate outcomes, employment and career options upon completing your bachelor's degree include the following. So aerospace engineering, aircraft control and navigation, working in the automotive industry, working in the construction industry, design and manufacturing, working with electronic control systems, factory control, government engineering, roads and railroad engineering, shipbuilding, robotics, and water supply. So next we're going to have a look at what it's like studying online at Deakin College. The first thing we're going to talk about is how you actually access your classes. So to start with, all classes or all lectures and tutorials are run in the online platform, which is Zoom. So we use Zoom to conduct our classes. Moodle is the learning management system, and all of the Zoom links are posted in Moodle, which you'll have access to. You can only see the links for the specific class you're enrolled in. So for instance, if you're enrolled in SIT 199 Class 1, which could have classes Monday at 8:30 and Wednesday at 11:30, you'll only see the links for those classes. So it makes it a lot simpler when you're enrolled in that unit. In terms of online study, you can access all of your class materials on Moodle as well. So every subject that you're enrolled in will actually have its own subject area. And you can see here the arrows pointing to Engineering Fundamentals, which is SEB 101. The online classes for that unit, there's two classes. So one run by AJ and one run by Jonathan. If you're in AJ's class, which is class 30, you would only see the links for his lecture and his tutorial. If you're in Jonathan's class, which is class 31, you would only see the links for class 31. In terms of the class material offered online, if you have a look on the left, you can actually see sort of the areas within the SEB 101 class. So the first section is the online class links, where you can go to see all the links for the Zoom sessions that you have to attend. The next one is the resource and assessment section. So we put all the information for your resources and your assignments in the same section to make it very clear where all the information you need to complete your assignments is. After that, you've got the weekly topics that are all separated so into the weekly topics. You can see here we've got week 4, which covers work, energy, and power. And that's separated into 3 kind of areas. So first you have your introduction, which covers what you'll be studying that week, as well as the before class activities. And so that can be things like doing a pre-quiz or just some pre-reading before the class. There's the during class activities as well. So that's where you'll see your lecture notes, your tutorial questions, as well as any activities you have in class. And so for this week, you can see there was a simulation, which is a really great way of showing the principles of work, energy, and power. Then you have your after class activities, which could be things like follow-up questions, after class reading, things like that. And so it's really easy to see what you're expected to do for that week. In terms of the support that we offer, there's 3 areas that we're going to talk about today. So the first one is support by teachers. So your teachers will actually have scheduled Zoom drop-in times for student consultations. You also have the option of waiting after class, where students are free to stay in the Zoom session and to ask questions, either written or verbal, whichever one they're more comfortable with. Deakin College also offers support, and one of those is the academic learning advisors, who are available to run workshops and even have one-on-one assistance or run one-on-one consultation sessions to help you with study skills or any problems you might be having. There's also support from our learning mentors. So our PALM mentors are actually available to assist you in your studies as well, that are current student learning mentors. You can book them online through what's called Setmore, and the link is there, but it's also available on the Student Hub. In terms of assessments, for assessments and exams. So in terms of assessments, for all units, assessments for all units are ongoing and consist of online quizzes, tests, oral presentations, as well as assignments and even case study analysis. All of your assessments will be uploaded in the Moodle platform, and your teachers are there to help you develop the skills you need to complete your assessment tasks successfully. In terms of exams for the Diploma of Engineering, most of the units will have a final exam, however, a few of them don't. So SEJ 101, SEJ 102, and SEJ 103 do not have a final exam. Your exams are conducted online and have a duration of 2 hours and 15 minutes. So what we're going to talk about next is the units you'll study in your diploma. And after that, we'll go into the recommended units that you study in your first trimester. So in terms of the units you study in the diploma, we've got a list of them here. The first one is SEJ 101 Design Fundamentals, which looks at the principles of design. SAT 199, Applied Algebra and Statistics, is the first maths unit that we recommend students study. SCP 101, Engineering Fundamentals, looks at the fundamentals of physics and how you can apply them in engineering. SEJ 102, Electrical Systems Engineering Projects, teaches the basics of electrical systems as well as electrical components and electrical fundamentals. SEJ 103, Materials Engineering Project, looks at materials, material selection, material properties. SIT 172, Programming for Engineers, is your Introduction to Programming unit. And SIT 194, Introduction to Mathematical Modeling, is our second mathematics units that looks at mathematical modeling principles. There's also 2 0 credit point units, Academic Integrity and Introduction to Safety and Project-Oriented Learning, which is your safety and academic integrity units. They're both 0 credit points and take about 50 minutes to complete. So recommended units for our October intake. And always remember to check the course guide before enrolling, just in case there's any updates. So the first unit that I recommend students do is SEJ 101, Design Fundamentals. So this is a 2 credit point unit. This unit focuses on the principles and practices of design. So design is an essential characteristic of professional practice and requires unique knowledge, skills, and attitudes common to a number of disciplines. In this unit, students will explore the process of design ideation, definition, prototyping, and testing by working on authentic real-world problems. Students will be encouraged to view problems or design problems from a holistic and atomistic perspectives, paying attention to detail and showing empathy for biases, values, and needs of clients and users. For the next unit that I recommend students take in their first trimester is SEB 101, Engineering Fundamentals. This unit is an introduction to the basic principles of physics. When studying SEB 101, you'll learn about areas of mechanics, statics, and engineering moments, as well as the application of Newton's law to a wide variety of phenomena, will be investigated, and the concepts of work, energy, and the conservation laws discussed. The information you'll learn in this class will be greatly important as you develop as an engineer. The last unit I would recommend a student take in their first trimester is SIT 199, Applied Algebra and Statistics. This unit introduces us to the mathematics underlying applications encountered in engineering. So the unit introduces and develops the theory of a range of algebraic and statistical techniques, which will be important towards all engineering studies. These techniques are then applied to solving problems in the engineering and physical sciences. Lastly, there's the 2 0 credit point units, Academic Integrity and Introduction to Safety and Project-Oriented Learning. So these units teach laboratory safety and academic integrity. All Diploma of Engineering students must complete both SEJ 010, Introduction to Safety and Project-Oriented Learning, and STP 050, Academic Integrity, which are 50-minute integrity and safety training units. For both STP 050 and SEJ 010, there's 0 credit point compulsory units, but they don't count towards your total credit requirements. And in terms of assessments, it's a 100% online multiple choice quiz. So what we're going to look at now is just a few frequently asked questions that we can answer. The first one is, how do I purchase textbooks? So all textbooks are available as ebooks and can be purchased online or even borrowed electronically from the Deakin Library. So our class is recorded. All of our classes are recorded and uploaded to uploaded to Moodle. So all of the classes for every week will be recorded and put online. What programs or equipment will I need to complete my studies? So for SEJ 101, Design Fundamentals, there's a 3D modeling component, which means that you'll need to have a computer capable of running the AutoCAD software. We've gotten the minimum requirements for the AutoCAD software used, and so those are listed here. The operating system has to be between Windows 7 and Windows 10 with 8 gigabytes of memory. Your processor needs to be between 2.5 and 2.9 gigahertz, and you'll need at least 6 gigabytes of disk space to hold the program as well as the 3D models that you create. What does the timetable look like? So at Deakin College, the timetable runs from 11 o'clock AM to 9 o'clock PM, Australian Eastern Standard Time. How many students are in my class? We actually have a maximum of 30 students in all classes. How do I enroll? So enrollments will be opened Thursday, the 8th of October, and all students who have accepted their place will receive an email in regards to how to enroll. You can enroll on your own online, or you can attend an enrollment session to assist you with your enrollment. What happens in my first class? So you'll be provided a Zoom link to join your first class before the first class runs. In your first class, you'll meet your fellow classmates as well as your teacher, learn the topics that you'll cover in that trimester or in that unit, as well as what your assignments are. So we make sure that you're aware of what your assessments are and what you'll be learning at the very start of the class. Our class is recorded. So all of our classes are recorded each week and then made available on the Moodle page for that class. What if I fail a unit? If you fail a unit, you can repeat the unit in the following trimester. And what is the structure of trimester 3? So we've actually got the structure of trimester 3 shown on this slide here. You can see week 1 starts on the 26th of October and week 12 starts on the 25th of January. And are there any questions?
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Liam. If anyone does have any questions, we now have some time to answer them for you. So you can either put them in the Q&A section and you can put them in there anonymously if you prefer, or you can put it directly in the chat. That's not a problem as well. Just in regards to this meeting, you will receive a PDF copy of today's presentation as well as a link to the recording. So you will have access to both of them. And then if you have any further questions, of course, you can always reach out to us via email. Liam, I just have one question that came through while you were chatting, just in regards to class duration. So you mentioned that the timetable runs from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. But can you talk about the contact hours or how many hours a student needs to sit in class?
So in terms of contact hours, normally for every credit point, you'll have between 4 or 5 contact hours, but that's not 4 or 5 hours in a row. It'll be sort of two-hour sessions per credit point. In terms of overall time for a credit point, so including working on your assignments or studying, doing the pre-reading as well as attending classes, you're looking at about maybe 10 hours per week per credit point that you're studying.
Amazing. And of course, we do have the option for our Australian students to undertake our foundation maths units as part of the diploma program if they haven't completed those in high school. Are you able to talk about how they fit into the structure of the diploma?
Yes. So with these support maths units, there's 2 support maths units that you can complete as part of the diploma. The thing about them is that we can actually structure the diploma so that you can still complete in 3 trimesters or over 12 months, taking into account that you have to complete those 2 maths units as part of your diploma. So I can see there's a question that's been asked there. I have to complete maths 1 and maths 2 as part of my diploma. When should I enroll into them? Generally, what you would do in your first trimester is enroll in mathematics 1, as well as a few other diploma subjects, and then complete mathematics 2 in your second trimester of study.
Okay, there's been a couple of questions in the chat that have also talked about scholarships. So we do have a variety of scholarships available. Justine has just posted the link in the chat function. However, there will also be a link on the email sent with the recordings to be able to have a look at the scholarships available. Just depending on I guess, your nationality or your academic background to whether you would qualify for those scholarships. We do have excellent scholarships, which can be 15 or 20%. We also have online bursary scholarships. So you will just need to have a look at that page and see if any of those scholarships or bursaries that we offer do apply to you. Of course, also to Deakin University have a STEM scholarship. So anything from science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So any of the bachelor programs that Liam mentioned that pass forward or that you progress into for second year. For some nationalities, there is also a 20% scholarship available for you. You just need to achieve 65% in your diploma program at Deakin College to automatically qualify for those. So there are lots of scholarships available. I would just recommend having a look on the Deakin College scholarship page as well as the Deakin University scholarship page for what you can progress into.
So I can see a question there from Tom. Is AutoCAD able to be operated on Mac devices too? For my understanding is that you actually need to have a Windows operating system to run the AutoCAD software. So you'll need to find a way of running the Windows operating system. You can discuss this with the lecturer for the class though, and they'll be able to give you some advice.
Ben, there's just a question in regards, Ben has just asked a question in regards to when class times will open. So our the way that it runs is on the 8th of October. You'll receive an email next week in regards to the exact timing of the portal opening for you to enroll in classes. And you'll be able to select what unit you wish to study, and then you will select the class time that is available. Liam, are you able to discuss, at the moment, our borders are closed and face-to-face campus isn't happening. But obviously in the future, we hope that both of those situations change. What is the plan if our borders do reopen or face-to-face classes can resume?
I think that's something that we'll have to address as and when we understand more about when the borders open. Mm-hmm. So I think the plan would take into consideration where everyone is physically located, as well as like in terms of how the borders open, what's possible in that scenario. But right now we've got the online learning. So I think it's online until we get more information, then we'll keep everyone informed.
Beautiful. Okay, so we've just got a couple of questions which I'll be able to answer in regards to international students applying for the course. So the international students are able to apply for the course, and they can also commence the course prior to receiving a student visa. The Australian government has relaxed laws about students commencing online study prior to achieving their visa. We are certainly aware too that some Australian embassies or visa locations have been closed or biometrics locations. So we are aware that there is a 4 to 6 month backlog in student visa applications. So there won't be any pressure once face-to-face classes resume to be able to get a visa and come straight away. We will be allowing some time, I guess what we call a hybrid model. So online learning as well as face-to-face learning. Yeah, so you will have time for the student to obtain a visa, and they will be able to continue studying. That won't be disrupted. So definitely can still apply now. Just one more question, Liam, in regards to laboratory work. So it was mentioned in some of the units that you had laboratory assignments or laboratory work. How does that actually take place in an online environment?
So the practicals or the laboratories are also run online. In terms of how we run them, we've actually looked at for every single class the best way that we can run the practicals online. So that can be things like running simulations instead of doing them in person, as well as different computer programs that can show you a realistic expectation or model of what would be happening with those practicals. In some scenarios, we also have videos of the practicals being done, so you can see exactly what it looks like in the real world. So what we've done is looked at different ways that we can teach those practicals in an online environment. So they do still run. It's just that, yeah, they have to run in the online environment instead of in person.
Amazing. We'll just allow a couple more minutes just in case there are any further questions come through, but if not, we will be able to wrap it up for today. Okay, Liam. So just in regards to the fast track, if a student is looking to fast track, can they do that if they're doing the fundamental mathematics?
So with the math support units, which is maths 1 and maths 2, if you consider that you can roll in a maximum of 4 credit points per trimester, if you add the extra 2 credit points with maths 1, maths 2, that becomes a total of 10 credit points you'll be studying, which means that the fastest you can complete it is over 3 trimesters. That's if you've got the mathematics support requirements. If you don't have the math support requirements, you can complete it over 2 trimesters, which is 4 credit points. I noticed another question there was, can you study 4 subjects? So you've got to consider, SEJ 101 Design Fundamentals is a 2 credit point subject. So of the 4 credit points you can study in a trimester, that one's worth 2. So if you study SEJ 101, which is 2 credit points, Design Fundamentals, SEB 101 Engineering Fundamentals, which is 1 credit point, and SIT 199 Applied Algebra and Statistics, which is also 1 credit point, you actually have 4 credit points over 3 subjects, which is still half of your total course. So you can do 3 subjects, which is 4 of the 8 credit points you're required to do in your first trimester, which is the maximum that I would recommend a student do. So even though it's 3 subjects, it's still 4 credit points, and you need to finish 8 in 2 trimesters. I've got a question from John. So about units 1 and 2 maths, are you referring to the fundamental maths? There's 2 units. So for local students, there's the option of doing math support units, which is it'll show on your letter of offer. So FND 021 maths 1 and FND 023 maths 2. So those are additional units for the local students in the math support track.
Which is different again, Liam, to the SIT 194 that's on the screen now.
Yes, it is. Sorry. So these are the so those 2 maths units would be in addition to the subject on the screen now. So there's 2 diploma level maths units, which is SIT 199 Applied Algebra and Statistics and SIT 194 Introduction to Mathematical Modeling that all of our students will do. So all of the local and all of the international students. And then locals have the option to also do FND 021 and FND 023, Maths 1 and Maths 2.
Amazing. Well, it doesn't look like there's any more questions coming through, Liam. So thank you so much for your time today. And thank you to everyone who participated. We hope you found the session useful. And as I said, you will get the presentation and the recording. So if you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to us, and we're always here to help you. Thanks, everyone. Bye.